Welcome back, students. This is GATE training course on mechanics of materials. This is lecture 9, tutorial in deflection of beams. The first problem, a lean elastic beam of given flexural rigidity EI is loaded by a single force F as shown in figure. How many boundary conditions are necessary to determine the deflected center line of the beam? That is, to find the deflection, how many boundary conditions are required? That is the question. Right. So in generally, if you want to solve a differential equation, you need the number of conditions to be equal to the order of the equation. So essentially, we are solving this equation, EI into d square y by dx square is equal to m. So this is an equation of second order. So you need a boundary condition, that is at least two boundary conditions to solve this problem. So actually we have more boundary conditions here, but at least two boundary conditions is required. That is, one, we can have the deflection to be 0 at this point, as well as we can have the slope to be 0 at this point, so that is at the fixed support. So we can have two things there, and we have a hinged point here. So again at this point the deflection is 0. So all these things we can have. So we may have more than two boundary conditions, but at least two boundary conditions are necessary. So the answer is D. Right. So this is the next problem. Two identical cantilever beams are supported as shown with their free ends in contact through a rigid roller. After the load P is applied, the free ends will have. So we have two identical cantilever beams, one in the right side and another one on the left side. Right. So we have a roller here. So the options are equal deflections but not equal slopes, equal slope but not equal deflections, equal slope as well as equal deflections, neither equal slopes nor equal deflection. Right. So since it is connected by a rigid roller, when this free end, if it moves down by say delta, the left hand beam, it has also to be moved by delta downwards. There is no other way. So the first condition, the deflection will be the same at this end. Now see, on the right hand side, in this beam the load is acting not at the free end. It is acting at some eccentricity from the free end. But on the left hand side, here the roller is at the extreme end, at the free end. So the load from the upper beam comes and acts on the lower beam at the free end. So the point of application of both the beam is different, even though both are identical. So as a result, even though the deflection is same, the angle will be different. Okay. So the answer should be answer A, that is equal deflections but not equal slopes. Since the roller is rigid, deflection will be equal, but in the left beam load acts at end and right beam load acts away from the end, so slope will be different. So the answer is A. Now the third question, a simply supported beam carrying a concentrated load W at mid-span deflects by delta under the load. If the same beam carries a load W such that it is distributed uniformly over entire length and undergoes a deflection delta 2 at mid-span, the ratio delta 1 is to delta 2 is. We have different options. Let's check what's the right option. Okay. So the question is, we have a simply supported beam. In the beam, the first case, what we are doing is we are applying a concentrated load W at the center or at the mid-span. And in the another case, what we are doing, we are having the same load W, but it is distributed, right? So the magnitude of load is W by L. That is W by L Newton per meter, or whatever may be the load unit of uniformly distributed load. So in the first case, it is point load. So the deflection for point load is this one, delta 1 is equal to WL cube by 48 EI. Now in the second case, the deflection in case of a uniformly distributed load is 5 WL power 4 by 5 by 384 WL power 4 by EI, right? 5 by 384 WL power 4 by EI. So in this case, the loading is W by L. Instead of W, it is W by L, right? So when you cancel this out, it will be, right, 5 by 384 WL cube by 3 by EI. When you just divide delta 1 by delta 2, right, so the answer will be 8:5. Just you have to divide delta 1 is to delta 2. The ratio of delta 1 and delta is 8:5. So the answer is D. Now the fourth question, for the linear elastic beam shown in the figure, the flexural rigidity EI is 781,250 kilonewton meter square. When W is equal to 10 kilonewton per meter, the vertical reaction RA at A is 50 kilonewton. The value of RA for W is equal to 100 kilonewton per meter is. So this is the question. So initially, when they are applying a load of 10 kilonewton per meter, the reaction at A is, that is at the reaction at the fixed support is 50 kilonewton. And now the load is increased from 10 to 100 kilonewton per meter. So now what is the reaction here, right? So the load has increased by 10 times, but what may be the reaction? So that is the question asked here. So now see here, at the right end we have a gap of 6 mm. So at the point B we have a gap of 6 mm. So the right end is allowed to deflect by a maximum distance of 6 mm. Above that it will be restricted, right? Let's see the cases one by one. So in the first case, we are having a load of 10 kilonewton per meter, right? So 10 kilonewton per meter over a span of 5 meter. So the total magnitude of the load is 10 into 5. The first case, the load would have been 10 into 5. So totally the external loading is 50 kilonewton, right? And the reaction acting was at A was 50 kilonewton. So the total reaction is happening at the end A. So which means the B point there is no contact. So entire reaction is provided by the A side. So now come to the next case. We have a load of 100 kilonewton per meter. So now let's find the deflection. Whether we want to find whether it will touch the end or not. So we can find that, right? So if it is not touching, we can easily find that the whole load will be the reaction at A. So 100 into 10, that is 1000 kilonewton should be the load, what we can say, the reaction here. But the 1000 kilonewton is nowhere in the answer. So there should be a contact at this point. So we can move on. So what I am going to do is, for a 100 kilonewton meter load, what is the deflection? I am finding it out. So I am just substituting it in the cantilever beam UDL equation. That is deflection, maximum deflection is equal to WL power 4 by 8 EI. So what I am getting is 10 mm. So the gap is 6 mm, but it is 10 mm. So if there is no rigid platform, it would have moved by a distance of 10 mm. So now only 6 mm is allowed to move, and the remaining 4 mm is prevented to move downwards by a vertical reaction. So it is by a vertical reaction from the right end support, that is the support B. So we can consider that we have a deflection of 10 mm due to this load and a 4 mm upward deflection due to this reaction force, right? So 10 mm downwards and 4 mm upwards by this reaction. So as a result, the total deflection was 6 mm. So this is as per what we can say. We can add up the load, and that is, we can find the displacement separately, we can add it up, right? So that was the principle. So similarly, so we are doing it here. Possible deflection is 6 mm, right? Only 6 mm is possible. So restricted deflection is 4 mm. So assume a point load reaction P which is equivalent to producing 4 mm deflection at B in the upward direction. So PLQ by 3EI, where P is the reaction at this end, right? So RB I am considering it to be P. PLQ by 3EI, which is the deflection equation for a cantilever beam with point load at the free end. So the deflection is 4 mm. When I put it in the equation and solve, I am getting 75 kilonewton as the answer. So the total load was, okay, the total load was 100 into 5, that is 500 kilonewton was the total load, among which 75 kilonewton reaction is produced at the end B. Yes, so 100 into 5, that is 500 kilonewton load would be the total load acting on this beam, out of which 75 kilonewton load reaction load is provided by this end. So the remaining total load could have been given as a reaction by the end A. So 500 minus 75, that is 425, could have been the reaction at the point A. So the answer is B, 425 kilonewton. So this is an interesting question. So the next question, a cantilever beam with a flexural rigidity of 200 Newton meter square is loaded as shown in the figure. The deflection in mm at the tip of the beam is, so at the tip of the beam, what is the deflection? So we have a direct formula for this. Deflection is equal to PA square by 2EI into L minus A by 3, where A is the eccentricity distance, that is 50 mm, and L is 100 mm, and P is the load, 500 Newton. When you just substitute it, you can get the answer, and the answer is 0.2604. So we can take it as A, option A, 0.26. The another way of finding the answer is, you can find the deflection at this point, okay, that is, find the deflection at the point where the load is acting, and then by using the angle theta, you can extend the deflection at the end. That is, by finding the deflection at the load of at the point of application of load, you can also find the deflection at the end. Consider the following statements. So some statements are given. In a cantilever subjected to a concentrated load at the free end. So you have a cantilever beam, a concentrated load is applied at the free end. So the bending stress is maximum at the free end. So it is asked that the bending stress is maximum at the free end. The maximum shear stress is constant along the length of the beam. The slope of the elastic curve is 0 at the fixed end. Let's see one by one. The answer was given as B, that is, the statement 2 and 3 are correct. The maximum shear stress is constant along the length of the beam. Right, so that was the right answer, and the slope of the elastic curve is 0 at the fixed end. So these two are the correct statement. Let's check. The bending stress is maximum at the free end. So at the free end, you know that the bending moment is 0. So at the support, you know that the bending moment is F into L. Right. So you know the bending stress is M by I is equal to sigma B by Y. So bending stress depends upon bending stress depends upon the bending moment. So as a result, so if the bending moment is varying, so it cannot be a constant value. Okay, so it cannot be a constant value. So we can say this statement is wrong. So always the maximum shear stress will be constant all along the length of the beam, and the slope of the elastic curve is 0 at the fixed end. You know that at the fixed end, at the fixed support, you know there is no deflection and the slope is 0. So the answer B is the right thing. If E is equal to elasticity modulus, I is equal to moment of inertia about the neutral axis, and M is equal to bending moment in pure bending under the symmetric loading of a beam, the radius of curvature of the beam. Okay, what happens? The question is, M is the bending moment in pure bending under the symmetric loading of a beam, the radius of curvature of the beam. What happens to the radius of curvature if M or if increases with E? That is, it is asked that the radius increases with increase in E. Am I right? If E is the elastic modulus, I is the moment of inertia about the neutral axis, and M is equal to bending moment in pure bending under the symmetric loading of a beam, the radius of curvature of the beam. So let us have the bending equation. So the bending equation is M by I is equal to sigma by Y, which is equal to E by R. So this is the bending equation. Okay, so we know that if the bending moment increases, the radius of curvature decreases. So it is inversely proportional. So right. So the answer is, see here, when you move the R to the other side, so E becomes, it is directly proportional to R. So increases with E. So if E increases, bending moment also increases, right? So sorry, if E increases, the radius of curvature also increases. So it increases with E. So first answer is right. Okay, the answer is given as D. So the first is right. And the second, it increases with M. Okay, second answer is wrong, since radius of curvature is inversely proportional to M. So the second answer is wrong. The third option, look at the third option, decreases with I. Okay, so it is given, it decreases with I. So again, both are on the same side. So I and R are on the denominator side, on the RHS and LHS. So what happens? With increase in I, the R also increases, radius of curvature also increases. Okay, then decreases with M. So with increase in M, the R decreases, since both are inversely proportional. So the right answers are 1 and 4. The option is D. Okay, so D is the right answer. A cantilever beam of rectangular cross section is subjected to a load W at its free end. If the depth of the beam is doubled and the load is half, the deflection of the free end as compared to the original deflection will be. This is one of the questions which is more frequently asked in competitive exams. Say a cantilever beam of rectangular cross section is subjected to a load W at its free end. So you have a cantilever beam. So in that beam, at the free end, you are applying a load W. If the depth of the beam is doubled, and so it is a rectangular cross section, and if the depth of the beam is doubled and load is halved, the deflection of the free end as compared to the original deflection will be. First we could find the original deflection. The equation is WL cube by 3EI, or WL cube by 3EI. It is AH cube by 12. Okay, so A is the breadth and H is the height. So AH cube by 12. So I am putting it here. So I am getting an equation 4WL cube by EAH cube. That is the original deflection. Now H is doubled and W is halved. So let's find the new deflection. So instead of W, okay, this is the equation. Instead of W, I am substituting as W by 2. So at the bottom I am adding a value 2. And instead of H, the value is 2H. It is doubled. So 2H the whole cube. So it becomes 1 by 16 into 4WL cube by EAH cube. So 4WL cube by EAH cube was the original deflection, and now it is 1 by 16th of the original equation. So the answer is 1/16th. So option C is the right answer. Now the ninth problem. A simply supported beam of constant flexural rigidity and length 2L. Okay, so yes, we are having a simply supported beam of length 2L carries a concentrated load P at its midspan, and the deflection under the load is delta. So we have a cantilever beam of length 2L with a point load P at the center, and we are having a deflection as delta. If a cantilever beam of the same flexural rigidity and length L is subjected to load P at its free end, then the deflection at the free end will be C. So let's have a diagram. Assume this is the cantilever beam, and this is the simply supported beam. Assume so. We have a point load at the center. In both the case, the magnitude is P. So here the length is 2L. Here the length is L, and the loading is same. The loading is P. Now we want to compare the deflection. That is the case. Right. So see here. So now let's find the deflection for the simply supported beam. For the simply supported beam, we have the deflection as WL cube by 48 EI. So in this case, L is 2L. The length of the span is 2L. So we are substituting 2L here. So we are getting WL cube by 6 EI. And deflection for cantilever beam is WL cube by 3 EI. Right. So where the length is L here. So it is, if this is delta and this is 2 times of delta, so we can put it as 2 delta. So the right answer is C. Now the 10th question. For a cantilever beam of length L, flexural rigidity EI, and loaded at its free end by a concentrated load W, match list 1 and list 2 and select the correct answer. Right. So in this case, try to save time. That's the main thing. Right. So for a cantilever beam of length L and flexural rigidity EI and loaded at its free end by a concentrated load W, match list 1 with list 2. So maximum bending moment, the value will be W into L. So you all know that. So for A, 1 is the right answer. So for A, 1 is the right answer. The options having A as 1 is For A, the answer as 1 is the option A and the option B. The other options have some other answers for A. Right. So let's check B. The strain energy, maximum slope, and maximum deflection. You all know the maximum deflection equation. So the maximum deflection equation is W L square by 2EI. Sorry, WL cube by right. So just match the maximum deflection equation with the corresponding list. So you'll be getting the answer as option B. Right. So with this, I complete this lecture. Thank you all. Hope you all get a very good marks in GATE exam, and success is all yours. Thank you.